Veterans, service members, transitioning service members. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Off the Battlefield podcast presented by Veterans Claim Servants. We are stoked to have you here today. And in this episode, we're going to get right into it and talk about the 5 most common reasons for VA claim denials. It's frustrating, but I don't want you to give up, and I want you, my friends, to fight back. We are veterans serving veterans. I care about you. I am a retired Army veteran and just want you to know that you matter. Keep fighting. That's why this channel was created. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, share this out with someone that can use this information. We are giving you the education and resources you need so that you can be in the best position to fight back and win your claim. Receiving a denial for your VA disability absolutely stinks, and it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like you've been punched in the throat, leaving you angry, stuck, frustrated, underrated, and unsure of what to do next, right? I know because this happens over and over again. There are clear and unmistakable errors. There are uneducated, not up to speed raters and doctors that do compensation and pension exams. And it's a frustrating process. We are not given the keys to the vehicle for the vehicle to run properly. We are not put in the best positions to win our claims, and it really stinks sometimes. So I want to give you some of these tips and tools to put in your toolbox so that you have all the ammo that you can bring to the firefight to make sure that you win your claim. So there is good news with this, that you do have options to challenge the VA's rating decision and potentially turn a bad situation into a good situation. So that's what I'm going to be discussing today, right? Are the 5 most common reasons why you may have gotten a denial and what to do if you do get a denial and how to fight back. And first step is don't give up, okay? Just don't give up. It's not the end of things. There are mistakes. Like I said, a VA disability claim denial can feel overwhelming, but it's not final. There are options to appeal and challenge the VA's decision to potentially turn a denial into an approval, right? So remember, you have a supplemental claim, which you can provide new and relevant evidence. You have a higher level review if there is a mistake that you could put in on that 0996 form. Go online, file that higher level review online. A senior level reviewer is going to call you whenever they call you. It may take a little time. Be patient, but remember that you've seeded the clouds and you can get back pay from your original effective date or the day that you submitted the claim, or potentially your intent to file, depending on the type of claim that it is. And then just write down, hey, you didn't look at my nexus letter. Hey, you did not listen to me. Hey, you did not see all my evidence. I had a horrible CMP exam. It went 5 minutes and I was out of there. They didn't ask me anything of relevancy. So there are options to appeal and challenge the VA's decision to turn a denial into an approval. And listen, with the appeals, I highly do not recommend going the Board of Veterans Appeals route if you don't need to, because that could take you forever and you could be waiting years to get an approval when most likely you needed a nexus letter, you needed some continuity of care, or there's something pretty simple that you needed. Because look, if you have in-service treatment, stress, or diagnosis, there's no reason why you are not getting the approval that you need. Okay. Um, Common reasons for VA denied claims are here: lacking current diagnosis, nexus for service connection, insufficient medical evidence, missing deadlines, explaining why denials occur and how to avoid them, right? Insufficient, no symptoms, just lack of evidence, like I said, in service treatment, stress, or diagnosis, right? Strategic action steps to take after denial can include reviewing the VA rating decision letter. That is that 17-page letter, right? Review that, choose the right appeal option, like I just talked about. Supplemental claim or higher level review. Supplemental claim, provide new relevant evidence. Higher level review, there was a mistake, duty to assist, clear and unmistakable error. They did not look at all the evidence. Hey, y'all didn't look at this. I need y'all to reevaluate this. And ensuring that the medical evidence that you have is complete and accurate. You are your best advocate. Make sure everything that you need is in your claim. Be proactive, be prepared, keep fighting, do not give up, right? So, number one reason why the VA denies disability claims: no current diagnosis in your medical record, right? So the VA requires a current diagnosis to consider a disability claim. If a veteran does not have a formal diagnosis from a healthcare provider, the claim is likely to be denied. It is not enough to simply report symptoms. There must be an official medical diagnosis documented in the medical records, right? So, how do you avoid this from happening? Ensure that a licensed healthcare professional has diagnosed your condition. Obtain the medical records necessary that explicitly state the diagnosis, and submit these with your claim. Keep your medical records updated, especially if you're receiving ongoing treatment. Treatment. Continue to get treatment. Ongoing treatment is key. Number two is no nexus for service connection. You got to think, okay, this may have happened, but do I have enough evidence established to get service connection, right? A nexus, what is it? It's a clear link between the current disability and military service. It's a research paper, if you will, medical scientific literature saying, hey, he has a combat action badge, he or she does. Here is we're doing PTSD. Here's the diagnosis. This is how it's connected. And a doctor provides that medical scientific literature proving how soldiers that were in Gulf War or Vietnam or Afghanistan or Iraq in the Middle East, how they have came back, and there are tons of PTSD research reports that they can cite in the Nexus letter and prove how something causes something, right? If you have a back condition, how does that impact your radiculopathy? It's there. The research is out there, but you can't just say it. The doctor needs to do it. If you're going to secondary something, you need a Nexus, DBQ, and diagnosis. You can't just wing it up. It's worth it to get the proper help rather than get denied. So a nexus is a clear link between the current disability and military service. If the evidence does not adequately demonstrate that the condition is related to and or was aggravated by military service, the VA may deny the claim. Provide a detailed nexus letter from a qualified healthcare provider, unbiased. Don't run through a nexus mill that explains how the disability is linked to your military service. Provide that doctor with all the evidence. Provide the VA with all the evidence that's needed. Make sure you're honest, integral, and upright, and do that. Include service treatment records or STRs and any incident reports that support the connection, and continue to get treatment along the process, right? Number three is lack of sufficient medical evidence. If the medical evidence is incomplete, outdated, or does not adequately demonstrate the existence or impact of the condition, the VA may deny the claim due to insufficient proof. Compile all relevant medical records from the VA, active duty, and private healthcare providers. Ensure these records are comprehensive and include documentation of the diagnosis, treatment history, and progression of symptoms. Okay. Number four, missed compensation and pension exam. If a veteran fails to attend the scheduled C&P exam, the VA may deny the claim because it lacks the necessary information to evaluate your disability. Attend all scheduled exams administered by the VA, especially your compensation and pension exams, or reschedule them promptly if you cannot attend. Be prepared for the exam. You should know what is in your evidence. Be proactive. You should know the thing that you are filing for. You filed for it. If it's a back condition, get care. Stay up to date. Knowing your medical history and discussing how your condition affects your daily life is absolutely crucial. Okay. Very, very, very crucial, right? And number five, condition not considered a disability by VA standards. Some conditions may not meet the VA's criteria according to the 38 Code of Federal Regulations for a compensable disability. For example, conditions considered temporary, mild, or not disabling enough may not qualify. Review the VA schedule for rating disabilities, the VASRD, to confirm that your condition is recognized as a compensable disability. Submit detailed medical documentation, and if possible, get a medical opinion on how the condition affects your daily life. Write a statement. Be upfront. Be honest. Don't over exaggerate, but don't downplay. Don't minimize. Don't sell yourself short. That is another thing I want to go back up to the compensation and pension exams. If you go in and say that all is fine, if you don't get any treatment, how is there anything wrong with you? It's going to The rater, the doctor are going to go under the presumption of sound doctrine that, look, this veteran has not really been getting treatment. It can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. Remember, your compensation and pension exams starts from the time that you come in the parking lot, you walk out of your vehicle, and you go into that doctor's office. Okay. So you need to be prepared. You need to know what's in your medical record. This is for you, for your family, your generations, your kids, all of this. You fought, you served, you deserve whatever it is that you get because you raised your right hand and said, I will. So it is very, very important to understand that without a shadow of a doubt, right? So if you were denied, I want to get into that. Review your rating decision letter. That's the 17-page letter. The first step is that you need to understand why they denied you. Pay particular attention to the reasons for decision in evidence reviewed sections. A VA rating decision letter is a document prepared by the VA rater that formally explains the VA's rationale for approving, denying, or deferring your VA disability claim. And they mess up. If they mess up, that's a Q error, clear and unmistakable error. Your VA disability rating decision letter includes the VA's final rating decision and analysis or overview, as well as why and how the VA rater and CMP examiner arrived at their opinions and conclusions for your VA claim. It's the number one most important document that you'll ever receive from the VA, right? The number two document is your rating disability breakdown letter with diagnostic codes. You call that, the number is in, you call and get that. The number is in the description of this video, 1-800-827-1000. Press option 3, ask it to be emailed to you, right? Step number 2 is decide your best appeal option. Like I said, higher level review. You got denied due to an error or you want a second opinion, you should file a higher level review. The next one is supplemental claim. If you didn't have all the right medical evidence, you need a nexus, or some evidence was not considered and you want to add new and relevant evidence, go the supplemental claim that is filed on a 0995 form. That these forms are in the description of this video. If your higher level review, supplemental claim, and HLR of your supplemental claim are denied, you should consider a records only board appeal, right? Next thing, review your medical evidence. Look at that decision letter. There's a reason why they denied it. The VA has to explain it. Make sure that you have the proper medical evidence in there, right? Match what you submitted with the evidence reviewed in your VA rating decision letter. Make sure it's accurate and consistent, right? Then file your VA appeal online, the best option for you. Okay. Make sure that you do that after submission. Be proactive, patient, and don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. The VA claims process isn't over unless you say it's over. And always remember why you started this from the beginning. I know it's frustrating, but these benefits are forever. There's always another option if you're willing to fight back. Okay. If you need help, get the help that you need. If you need a Nexus letter, if you need a DBQ, look in the description of this video. Reach out to the doctors, reach out if you need something. Let us point you in the right direction. We just want you to get the help honestly, integrally, upright. Don't be a money figure to somebody. Don't get screwed over by some company out here that's just running you through and not giving you the time and day. Make sure that you're getting the proper help. Make sure that they are fair. Make sure they are accurate. Make sure that you get your reports. If you do an outside medical opinion from some company or whatever, make sure that you get the reports. Those are your reports that you probably paid for. Get them, okay? So make sure that you do that. So in this video today, again, we talked about the top 5 reasons for denial. We went over that, the appeal options to fight back, supplemental claim, higher level review, Board of Veterans Appeals. That's my last option. All those forms are in the description of this video. Reach out to Dr. Prashant, Dr. Lopez, any of the doctors if you need help with a nexus or a disability benefits questionnaire. Be proactive. Don't stay silent. Don't give up. Be proactive instead of reactive. This is your claim. You will only lose if you quit and if you give up. If you have something rightfully so that can be connected, do not stop fighting. Keep going, right? Because you served and you deserve. I appreciate you tuning into this video today. I hope that this helps you. I hope that you're put in the best position to win your claim. I hope that this helps one person out there or anyone that's listening to this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your service to our country. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, share this out with someone, and stay in the fight, veterans. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.